Hey guys, some quick updates and announcements. We are in the throes of it here at our coaching company and at Strive to Move. Some really exciting things happening. The month of June was the record month at Strive to Move. And a shout out to our team. And I just want to make sure I mention all of them: Lauren, Ashton, Kaylee, Hannah, Matt, Rachel, Andrea, and Sophia. And I hope I didn't leave anyone out. Rachel, did I leave Rachel out? I want to make sure that I mention all of them because the work that they've put in, the time that they've spent, the sacrifices that they've made. As a business owner, as someone that started Strive to Move, that is no longer day-to-day working in there, it is one of the coolest things for me to be able to take a step back and then see the practice have a record month. It's the ultimate goal of business ownership. And I'm so excited for that. It also, honestly, it gives me even more confidence in what we're doing in our mastermind, because now I know that it's possible for not only Justin to do it, for not only some of our clients to do it, but now for our team to do it and actually can grow our practice. The practice this year, I believe, year to date is up 23 to 25% over year on year, which is absolutely incredible. And I want to brag about it. And I hope you are as excited as I am. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to push it. And it doesn't mean that I'm not going to hold the standards, because that's what we expect. And when we hire people and bring people on, we expect that to happen. So while I'm not surprised, I'm very, very happy and very proud of what we have done and what we are currently doing at Strive to Move. I posted on our Slack channel the other day one of our original price sheets from when we started doing packages and pricing. And I don't even know the year, maybe 2017, 18, 19. I don't even know when it started, 20. And our package pricing was about $1,700 on average. That was our lifetime value of a client. Our lifetime value of a client is over $6,000. And so my message to the mastermind members was, keep going. Just keep going. Now, it isn't easy. And it isn't just going to get better. What we've done, when I say keep going, over the last 3 to 5 years, is we have worked our asses off, and we have put ourselves in positions, and we have gotten into rooms with people that are far ahead of us, and we have networked with the right people and made a few key decisions in the business, and we have had hard conversations, and we have challenged each other. And because of that, now we're starting to see fruits. And that's exactly what the topic of this podcast is today, because I really want you to be at our live event in September. It's in New Jersey. It's on September 23rd and 24th. And I really think you should be there. So much so that I've dedicated this entire podcast to share my experience over the last 8 years of what I've learned from being in business masterminds and showing up to live events. And so before we even get into this episode, in the show notes, we have a link for a guest pass. So if you're on the fence, please just give yourself a chance. You don't even have to come, but at least give yourself a chance. At least hear what we've got to say. Hear why we can help. Once you fill the link out and give us your information, we're going to reach out to set up a call. And when we set up the call, we'll tell you more about it. You can ask any questions that you've got. And we can decide if it's a good place for you to be in September. Humbly, I can't think of a better place. I cannot think of a better place for you to be. Remember, this is your career. This is your livelihood. 2 days in a room with the right people might set you up for the next 20. It might. It very, very well might. How do I know? Because it's done it for me. And so if you've enjoyed the podcast and you believe in me and believe in what I've said, I'm asking you, I'm telling you that it's for you. It's for you. It's the best thing that could happen for you to show up at that live event. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Business School for the Rehab Chiropractor. Class is officially in session. My name is Justin Rabinowitz, and I am a rehab chiropractor on a mission to teach you, a fellow rehab chiropractor, the exact tools and systems I've used to build my own successful rehab chiropractic practice so you can do the same. I hope you enjoy, and please subscribe. So, as you already know, and if you didn't know, that means I'm a terrible marketer. We have our next live event, September 23rd and 24th in New Jersey. And I think if anything's happened in my life, the idea of growth, learning, and education is the pillar of any success, any growth I've had both personally and professionally. And so what I wanted to do is just share with you some insights into, my decade or so of continuing education and learning. And I think where you guys out there as Rehab Chiros potentially don't see it like I do is most of you guys would raise your hand and say you're into education, growth, and learning. But I think for a lot of you, where you might want to look in the mirror is specifically around what subjects. And unfortunately, in our profession and in school gone through, many of us have been told a lie. We've been lied to think that if we just do our job well, if we are a good practitioner, that everything will work out. And unfortunately, I have a business coaching career many times because I know that's not true. You cannot just be good. You cannot just have high clinical skill. You cannot just get people results, high clinical levels of skill and results, and people will just keep flocking to you. If you don't have the requisite business skills, like you understand how to do an orthopedic exam, like you understand how to palpate and adjust, like you understand how to do an SFMA or how to program, if you don't have that level of business acumen, how could we expect to have that level of success in our business? And unfortunately, the hard reality is just being able to adjust someone doesn't pay the bills. Just being able to give someone a rehab program doesn't alone pay the bills. If that isn't built around a highly strategic and successful marketing and sales plan, it isn't built around building a team and hiring, it isn't built around a social media strategy, and isn't built around a sales presentation in your initial exam, all of those skills that you went to school for and went to all of the DNSs and MPIs, those skills that you learned are almost irrelevant. Because if you think about it, if you moved to my town tomorrow and were 10x the clinician I would still get all your patients because I'm better at marketing and sales. And so if you think about it like that, I hope over the next few minutes, you can recognize just my journey to get to this level of realization. And so since starting my practice in 2015, I've dedicated myself to not only learning clinical skills, but understanding the business side of it. And the best way that I ever learned how to do that wasn't by watching YouTube videos. It wasn't by reading books. It wasn't by listening to podcasts like this. It was by getting in rooms. This became more evident during COVID because from 2015 to 2020, I was traveling all over the country to be able to get in seminars with business people and with colleagues, understanding sales and marketing and finance. And the ability to be able to get in those rooms, I never recognized until 2020 when it was taken away, just how valuable that time was. So what I want to share with you today is 5 reasons why, as I reflect on my journey, why getting live in person, in a room, and learning around 80 to 90 rehab chiros just like you who have same goals as you is the decision that you will make in your business career that will have the largest return on investment. So number 1, I believe that the only way to truly commit to something is to sacrifice. In sales, we actually call this the reason why you can't is the reason why you should. By you getting on a plane, staying in a hotel, being away from your family, all of the reasons why you say you can't come or shouldn't come or don't want to be away, those are all the reasons why you should. Because you, like me, have gone through a ton of sacrifice to get to where you are. And for most of us, I guess maybe I'll just speak for myself, the day that I walked across that stage at chiropractic school, I felt really good about myself not because it was easy, because it was really hard, because I had to sacrifice and I moved away from home and I moved to this little podunk town in Seneca Falls, New York, where there was nothing. And I lived there and I struggled through and I was at the library till 11 or 12 o'clock at night studying just to pass my test. And because of that level of sacrifice, when I completed it and when I reached the end, the level of satisfaction that I had, the level of buy-in that I had, the ability then to go and pursue the rest of my career, I did it with such enthusiasm because I knew the level of sacrifice that I just put forth. And so the ways that we sacrifice is with our resources, with time, and with money. And so just like you, I'm recording this from Florida. I'm away. I said goodbye to my daughter this morning, got on a plane and went to Florida because I know that that's the level of sacrifice that I'm asking you to commit to. And I would be disingenuous if I wasn't committing to that myself. But why am I doing it? I'm not doing it to be able to get on a podcast and tell you I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I know that the best way for me to go and grow myself and my team and my business and in turn my mastermind members is to commit and to sacrifice. And so being able to commit to that, knowing that I am giving something up, I am giving up spending time with my family, with my daughter, I am giving up being around my team and being placed comfortable, and I am giving up my money because I'm paying to be here and all these different things. Because of that, that is the reason why it's so valuable. And so for all of you guys that wonder and question if you should sacrifice the time and if you should sacrifice the money, all those questions, the reason why you shouldn't absolutely is the reason why you should. So reason number one, the only way to truly commit is to make a sacrifice. Number two, someone once asked me why I spent so much time and money. One of my most popular Instagram posts of all time, which it's actually pinned and you can go read it if you're a new follower, was about how I spent over $250,000 on business education and the 5 best lessons I've learned. And since that post, which I think was in 2022, it's probably closer to 300,000. And when they asked me that question, the best answer I could think of was a line from Seth Godin, the famous author. And he said the line is, people like us do things like this. Let me say that again. People like us do things like this. Sometimes I don't even have the best reason as to why I'm going to that seminar or joining that group or being in front of those people. And the only reason I can give is because people like me or who I aspire to be do things like this. And so if I want to be like them, I have to do things that they do. I have many mentors and colleagues who make significantly more money than me, who have had far larger success than me, who think at a much higher level than me. And without fail, every single one of them holds a few things true. Number one, they are willing to get on a plane, train, automobile. They are willing to spend their money. They are willing to get around people and be uncomfortable. They are willing to continue to put themselves out there and learn skills. They are willing to get in a room with 70, 80 people just like them. They know the value of it. And even though all of that is true and it is hard and it is challenging, they do it anyway. And for me, I could fight it all I want, but it's not worth it because at the end of the day, people like us do things like this. And so for you, people like you, someone who is into self-education and is into helping yourself and your family and is into growing not only yourself, but your team, but your community and being and having an impact. People like you do things like get on a plane and be away from their family for a weekend to immerse themselves in business education, to speak to 1, 2, 3 people that they never met before who may be able to give them a little bit of confidence or self-belief and give them a tactical help that they can use in their practice on Monday morning. And so people like you do things like show up to our live event in September. People like us do things like this. Number 3, one of the things that we lost during COVID and on Zoom was all of the moments when the teacher wasn't teaching. The moments when the teacher wasn't teaching. So many people, so many of my mentors, they immediately during COVID pivoted to going on Zoom, going online, still having seminars, still having live events, still doing different webinars and getting on there and teaching and educating. And the content was good. And during that period of time, it was the best that we could do. And I'm very grateful that it happened. But what I realized after the fact, and when I got back in rooms with people was how much I missed by not being live. Because what often happens at a live event, specifically at our Rehab Chiro Mastermind, is the level of networking, the level of friendship, the level of conversation that happens when Justin isn't on stage teaching is often even more valuable than what happens while I am teaching. And I am 100% comfortable saying that. And it is the reason why we do not have it on Zoom. Because I cannot think of a better way for all of you guys to learn from each other than to have lunch together, than to speak to each other during the 20-minute break, to go. And I know last time a couple people showed up Sunday a little roughed up because they spent 4 hours with a bottle of whiskey by the fire. Because I know that that's where the growth happens. I know that I've met some of my best friends through business. More than that, I think a level of awareness for some of you that are of just a few years out of your schooling is that your friend group is going to change. Just like when you left high school and went to college, and when you left college and went to chiropractic school, you changed. You were growing. And so it's not that you don't like the people that you grew up with, but a lot of them haven't changed. And now, as you embark on this business journey, on this entrepreneurship journey, it's going to get very lonely because people just don't understand. They think you're crazy. And statistically, you actually are crazy because less than 10% of the world are entrepreneurs. And so 9 out of 10 people, they won't understand. But back in your town in Wichita, Kansas, or in Kansas City, Missouri, or in Austin, Texas, 9 out of 10 people who you affiliate with, they won't understand you. And so because of that, you, my friends, have to find new friends. There's no problem with that. But some of the people I speak to the most now are people that I met through my own mastermind journey. Why? Because we're going through the same things. We're going through the same struggles. I can talk to them about my financial situations. I can share with them some of the wins. I can tell them that I want to invest in these things. And my friends that are employees that are they just never will understand. Even my family, they just don't understand. It doesn't mean I don't love them. It doesn't mean that I don't talk to them. But we all need people in our lives that know what we're going through. And you will meet those people at our live events. Sure, I know you get to know them on Zoom, but you will get to know them at our live event. Next, number 4. We very much want you to attend our live events. We run them 3 times per year. Every time is better than the last. And because of that, there is some content that we only put out at the live events. It won't be released. It won't be recorded because we want you to be there. We know the value, and if we have to quote unquote trick you into being there just to learn from us, we will. We have some very, very special things planned. Number 1, how you can make $50,000 using social media. Number 2, we are going to go through clinical concepts step by step and have special guests teaching actual clinical work. And so for you guys that are in school, just out of school and want to be rehab chiros but are unsure of how that looks because you've never seen it before, you need to get in a room because we're going to teach you exactly how to do that. We're going to teach you what your exam needs to look like, how you need to connect the dots and communicate that so that the patients in front of you see the value in what you're charging. Because if you've never seen it before, how do you expect to be able to do it? You see it, you be it, you believe it, and then you do it. And so the 4th reason why you should come to our live event is because there is going to be content that will be released at the live event that you will never, ever see again. So I implore you to be there. And the last reason, it's really one word. The word is energy. Expanded, it's energized. If you're going to be a leader in your community, of your company, and of your family, one of the main factors that I look for is, are you energized? And the question is, how do you stay energized? How do you keep energized? Because my friends, I've been doing this now, this entrepreneurial journey for 8 years. And I can tell you it can get exhausting and you're going to get burnt out and you're going to feel lonely and it's going to get tired and you're going to feel like you're on a treadmill. And if nothing else, showing up for 2 days with other people just like you, getting in a room, it becomes almost intoxicating. The level of energy that you will leave with. When you jump back on that plane and go home Monday morning, you are going to be ready to run through a wall. And if you need every 4 months to come and be energized at a live event and it costs you $1,000 to be there, that $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 you invest in yourself a year to bring that energy back to you, to bring that energy back to your practice, to your staff, to your team, to your patients, to your family, that level of energy, I promise you, will make you 100x. And the only reason why I'm telling you that, and I can promise you it, because it happens to me every time. And so the pain and the emotion that goes into leaving my family for a few days and stepping out of my comfort zone and, traveling and being on planes and spending the money always is less than the level of energy that I come back with. And so for you guys that are on the fence, that are considering it, please, in the show notes, there's a link. You can fill out an application for a guest pass. Once you fill the link out for the guest pass application, we will have someone on our team reach out to schedule a call. We want to make sure it's a good fit. We want to be able to answer any questions that you have. And I genuinely want to see you there. I hope for you guys that are considering it, potentially have some reservations, that these last 15, 20 minutes of this podcast have helped get you over the line. I know it's a sacrifice. I would never ask any one of you to do anything that I don't do, haven't done, won't do. And because of that, I implore you to be there. Not for me, but for you. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. And if you found this content valuable, here are 4 ways I can help you for free. 1, grab a copy of my free guide, the Rehab Chiropractor's Checklist. You can get that at go.drjustinrabinowitz.com/guide. That's go.drjustinrabinowitz.com/guide. 2, go ahead and give me a follow on Instagram at Justin Rabinowitz, where I post business content. 3, subscribe to my weekly newsletter by sending me an email at coaching@strivetomove.com. And 4, leave us a 5-star review so we can gain access to more influential people and bring those lessons back to you.